This is the Chery Tiggo 7 Pro and it cost 123,000 ringgit. That's very affordable by today's standards. But how much are you getting for that price? Is it good value for that money? We got the equipment bags here, the videographer's bags, mine, just under 500 liters of space. I guess just nice for a family of 4 to 5. These red bags here are actually empty. I brought them along just to show you how many bags the boot can fit. I've decided not to refuel the car because there's half a tank of fuel. There'll be a mix of highways, B roads, a lot of braking and accelerating. So let's see how it performs. Once we were on the North-South Highway, we did something everyone would do on a test drive. Not bad. In the last few days, even with a few passengers, there's more than enough power to drive the front wheels. 0 to 100 in about 8 seconds. In fact, this car makes more power than the 1.5-litre Honda CR-V. And I don't think I've ever heard anyone say the CR-V is slow. And this one definitely isn't. In fact, it's significantly more powerful than the 1.5 X70. Top speed, I don't want to find out, but on paper it says 200 kilometers an hour. It's okay, let's be safe. To find out what the suspension is like, we turned off the smooth highways and found some KL roads outside of KL. This is more than I expected. There are even cows. This stretch of road has all the bad roads in KL combined into one. There's every single type of bad surface. Before shooting this video, I've already spent a few days with this car, driving it on every type of road surface, and it's been comfortable enough. And even on this road, as you can see, the car is just gliding through. There's not much body movement. I guess the camera system can be quite handy in these style of conditions, especially when you're not sure what you're driving over. It's called the 540-degree camera because you got 360 degrees around the car and you can also see 180 degrees underneath it. In tight spaces, I like that the camera can change angles. It's deserted here. Let me just show you. Reverse. See? Convenient. Not many cars actually offer this feature. BMW is one of them. That said, I think the clarity of the display can be improved a bit. Generally, I think cars over 100,000, the display needs to be clear. Especially these days when the screen is the central part of the car. Just like your phone. You wouldn't accept a smartphone with a blur display, right? Eager to make it for brunch in the small town of Berang, we immediately turned back onto the highway. I'm doing about 100 kilometers an hour now, and from where I'm seated, it's quiet. There's barely any wind noise, tires are quiet. If anything, this noise now is coming from the road surface. You also get double glazed windows in the front, so that helps reduce noise. It actually looks and feels quite premium for a car that costs 120,000 ringgit. There are quite a lot of soft touch surfaces and the Sony sound system. Check this out. This is my first time in Berang actually. Such a slow-paced, sleepy town. Did you know that it was actually named after the train station? Look on the map, it's called Berang Station Town or Pekan Berang Station. I really like seeing all these old buildings and still in operation. This car looks so futuristic in this environment with all its details, especially in the front, on the headlamps, on the front bumper. Definitely stands out in this environment. So far, I've not seen anything that looks odd on this car. Do you? Power delivery is quite smooth most times, but in stop-go traffic, when you're trying to stop the guy from cutting in front of you in morning traffic, the way this car accelerates can be a bit smoother. Takes a bit of getting used to. When you're trying to inch forward, it just goes Nothing like a smooth drive after a nice meal. I like how this leather seat feels, even though it's synthetic leather. The seat feels comfortable. I'm actually quite impressed by the interior design of this car. You get a modern center console storage, there is just enough details without being overdone, the buttons feel quite nice, and you get a huge storage in here with a cold air blower. Overall, I think the one thing I would change about this entire interior are the trims. I would prefer a brushed aluminium surface, something like this, more classy. These trims, in my opinion, is only acceptable in AMG or M cars. But that's just me. I know a lot of people who wouldn't have any problem with this. The Tiggo 7, however, comes with a practical feature normally only found in premium cars. I really like this feature. Even to this day, not many cars have it. It's just so convenient. And when you walk away, it auto-locks. I wish I can enjoy the back seat for the final stretch of the drive, after lunch, after toilet. I can only think of one more thing to do, but because no one wants to drive, no choice. But let me just show you something really quickly. This is a very nice speaker cover, but it also comes with an orange ring that illuminates around it. When the car is parked, you want to open the door, but there is a car coming from behind you, this feature will warn you and prevent a minor dent or an expensive accident. Man, I wish I had a GR86 for this road. Oh. In terms of size, the Tiggo 7 is roughly the same as the CX-5, the X70, or even the Subaru Forester, and these are big cars. But on this road, it feels manageable. Visibility is good, car feels stable. If there's one letdown, I'd say it's the tires. I can feel it holding back the car's potential. These Atlas tires, usable, but the grip it offers, especially in the wet, to be fair, not as good as the more popular brands. All things considered, I think the Tiggo 7 offers a solid value for money alternative for first-time SUV owners. In terms of driving experience, I think it still has some lessons to learn from the Japanese, but in terms of interior design and features, the Tiggo 7 offers almost everything you'd expect in a modern SUV. This car reminds me a lot of the time when Proton introduced the X70. It offered a lot, but it also cost a lot less than its competitors. Even though I've made it seem like this is the best buy of 2024, the deal of the year, no car is ever perfect, and this one is no different. But later on that, because we're here! This is Gopeng Riverstones. I've been here many times, and what I like is how accessible it is from the North-South Highway. Turn off at the Gopeng exit, and 5 to 10 minutes later, you're here. It's also just a few minutes from Gopeng town, not far from civilization, but far enough for some peace and quiet. There are cabins for couples and families, a natural pool, lots of space for kids, a communal area, and even a river nearby. We've booked the whole place for private parties before, and they've even hosted weddings. We arrived using just under half a fuel tank, with fuel consumption at 11 litres per 100 kilometers. Cruising at 110 kilometers an hour, engine revs were just under 2000 RPM. Not bad if you ask me. So as I've said earlier, no car is ever perfect, and the Tiggo 7 is no different. Overall, the car looks very easy on the eye, it's proportionate, but I'm not such a fan of these blue details here. It doesn't match the classy interior of the car. And at the back here, I actually prefer the exhaust to go through the exhaust tips. I know, trivial details. But what is not trivial is this, the settings menu. I think English teachers who buy this car might get a little stressed out. You gotta go through it, read it a few times before you actually understand what some of these mean. You're probably thinking, hey, your English is decent, you shouldn't tease other people. No, that's not my point. I say this because I believe these little details, if neglected, can affect the overall impression of the car. Look at the interior, it looks good. It's like meeting an attractive person, and then when you start talking to them, their voice sounds weird, they speak funny. Generally, I love it when newcomers such as Chery disrupt the market, make things more competitive. Then we consumers will benefit. Like this panoramic roof, for example. Before Chinese cars started coming into Malaysia, like the Proton X70, the X50, there's no way you can get such a feature in a 100,000 ringgit SUV. But now, it's getting more and more common. This might be a lot cheaper, but I think the more expensive Japanese SUVs still have their appeal. That being said, if you're looking for a practical SUV with modern features that can give you the most value for your money, man, you should at least survey the Chery Tiggo 7 Pro. For more information on the Chery Tiggo 7 Pro, do log on to AutoBuzz.my. If you enjoyed the video, hit the like button, share and subscribe to our YouTube channel. Also, don't forget to hit the bell icon for the latest notifications on our newest videos. Moments like these, when you're in places like that, open sunroof. Ah, that's more like it. Just don't put your kid out there lah, please lah. 2024 already lah. Fruit fall from the tree, land on your kid's head, how? Got a low hanging branch, slam on your kid's face, how?